When AION 2 launched in Korea, the shop nearly killed it. 2 subscriptions, cash to gold conversion, paid revives in the middle of PvP fights. And then something happened that almost never happens. NC actually listened and rebuilt the entire money model for our version. 2 subscriptions became 1. Founders packs got better after people already bought them. But there is still one paywall sitting right in the middle of the game, and I do not think most of you are going to like it. So today, everything that is different about the global version, what NC actually fixed, and what they quietly left alone. Fair warning up front, this is not a hands-on review. Global is still pre-release as of August 12, 2026, so everything here comes from the version already running in Korea and Taiwan, and from what NC has confirmed for our launch. Here is the plan. All 8 classes and which ones to actually start on. Every confirmed difference between the global build and the Korean one. The full money breakdown, including the $15 catch, and the day 1 mistakes that can cost you real progress. Let's get into it.
Quick setup. AION 2 is a free-to-play MMORPG from NC, formerly NCSoft, and a direct sequel to the original AION. It picks up 200 years later on the shattered world of Atreia, where the Balor control most of the map and the Elios and Asmodeans are still at each other's throats. You play a mercenary tied to a fragment of the fallen Tower of Eternity, with the potential to become the next Daeva. Now the dates, because this is what most of you came for. Early access starts September 30th, 2026, and you get in through a paid Founders Pack. It runs 5 days. The free-to-play launch is being widely reported as October 5th, and I want to be precise here, because NC has not actually announced that day in a launch notice, and the Steam page still just says September. So pencil in October 5th. Do not ink it. And one number that matters more than people realize. Korea and Taiwan have been live since November 19th, 2025. That is roughly 9 months of real player data behind everything I'm about to tell you. This is not speculation about an unreleased game. This game exists. We are just waiting on our version of it. Global is PC only, on Steam and Purple. And that is already a difference. Korea and Taiwan run cross-platform with a mobile client. There is no Western mobile version and no console version announced for anyone. NC says they built this one specifically for PC. So how does it actually play? This is where AION 2 earns the attention. The biggest change from the 2008 original is combat. Strict tab targeting is gone. What you get instead is a hybrid system. Targeted skills, real-time dodging, blocking, combos, rear attacks, and positioning that genuinely matters. And here's the part people care about most. No autoplay, no auto-pathing, no auto-combat in anything shown so far. You actually play your character. Flight is not just a travel option either. Altitude, aerial dodges, and 3-dimensional positioning can swing a fight. You get it early, and you can use it almost everywhere, but it runs on stamina, and it is restricted in PvP. On content, NC advertises more than 200 dungeons across solo, party, group, and raid formats, with instant matchmaking that teleports your group straight in. For open-world PvP, the Abyss is the persistent faction war zone. Permanently flagged, flying combat, daily and weekly objectives. You earn Abyss points and spend them on consumables and competitive gear. In the live Korean version, extracting old Abyss gear refunds 80% of the points you paid. NC has not said that changes for global, but it is worth confirming at launch before you spend. And outside the Abyss, you can flag off. PvP is a toggle from the start everywhere else. Now the part most of you clicked for. Global launches with 8 classes. I will keep each one quick. Templar, the shield tank. Durable, forgiving, and the safest pick if you are still learning mechanics. Gladiator, the second tank, played like a bruiser. Sweeping attacks, area damage, and life leech that makes solo farming comfortable. Cleric, the primary healer. Wanted in every single group and relatively easy to be useful in. Chanter, the second healer, but really a hybrid. Melee pressure plus buffs, mantras, and support healing. Assassin, high mobility stealth melee. Extremely satisfying, but it demands precision. Ranger, bows, traps, kiting. Positioning is everything. Sorcerer, Huge elemental area damage and crowd control, but low mobility, so mistakes hurt. Spiritmaster, elemental summons for sustained damage, control, and soloing elite enemies. Now here is your first global difference. Korea has a 9th class, the Brawler, a fist fighter added on July 1st. It is not in our launch lineup, which tells you something important. Global is launching on an earlier build than Korea is running right now. And that leads to the question I cannot answer honestly yet. NC has not confirmed which content version we get or what our level cap is. You will see 45 quoted everywhere. That is people reasoning backwards from the Brawler patch, not NC saying it. Korea is on 50. Treat our cap as unconfirmed until launch week. Alright, the global changes. NC ran their first global dev stream on August 7th, and this is what they actually committed to. Party sizes are bigger than Korea. Dungeons go from 4 players to 5. The first raid goes from 8 to 10. Sanctuary groups also go from 8 to 10. That is a real design change, not a cosmetic one. 5-player dungeons mean the tank, healer, damage split works differently, and it makes Chanter and Gladiator flex picks a lot more valuable. PvP structure changed too. You get 1 versus 1 and 4 versus 4 arenas, and those are not gear equalized. Your gear matters. But at launch, you also get a 10 versus 10 battleground that is stat equalized, with objective and payload modes. If you want PvP where your wallet genuinely does not decide the fight, that is the mode to live in. Pets got reworked. Maximum pet level drops from 5 to 3, specifically to cut grind. There are over 200 tameable pets in the open world. They double as mounts, and they auto-loot for you. Though the auto-loot costs in-game currency to run. Wings are now purely cosmetic, 0 stats. So no one buys a power advantage with a skin. You get 4 character slots at launch. And servers, 5 regions, North America West, North America East, Central Europe, South America, and Japan. Critically, they are not region locked, so you can pick whichever region you want. Now, if you are in Southeast Asia or Oceania, I have to be straight with you. There is no dedicated server for you. You are routing to Japan, or Europe, or NA West, and you are eating the latency. NC has said they are still exploring more locations, but nothing is confirmed. And in a game where dodging and aerial positioning decide fights, that is not a small problem. Okay, the money. This is the reason this video exists. Here is what Korea launched with. Multiple optional subscriptions that stacked up to roughly $40 to $50 a month for full benefits, cash currency converting into gameplay gold, and a shop selling combat items, which NC pulled about 15 hours after launch because the backlash was that fast. Now here is Global.NC published their business model on July 8th, and it is a serious rewrite. 1 subscription, not 2. $15 a month, and it is optional. That is the single biggest change, and I will give credit where it is due. Going from 40 or 50 down to 15 is not a cosmetic adjustment. The shop is split in 2, cosmetics, which are purely aesthetic, and consumables, potions, resurrection stones, that kind of thing, which NC says do not affect gear progression or long-term power, and are also earnable by just playing. There is a battle pass called the Daeva Pass per character, with a free track and a paid premium track, and the Founders Packs. $24.99, $49.99, and $99.99. Every tier gets you the 5-day early access. The higher tiers add skins, a pet, wings, and styling items. 2 things worth knowing here. First, on August 7th, NC announced all 3 tiers now include 30 days of membership, and they applied that retroactively to people who already bought. That is genuinely good behavior. Second, those Founders cosmetics are exclusive to the packs on our servers, where Korea just sells the same cosmetics in their shop. So that is the good news. Here's the part I said you would not like. That $15 membership is what unlocks the market. The auction house, player trading. It also unlocks the Kinah and Quna exchange. That is the player-to-player system where one person lists gold and another person spends cash currency to buy it. Think Guild Wars 2 Gym Exchange. That did not get removed for global. It got kept, and it got locked behind the same $15. So let me put it plainly. AION 2 Global is free to play, but if you do not pay,
you cannot use the auction house, and you cannot trade. In an MMO with a gear grind, that is not a convenience feature, that is the economy. And there are two more things NC has not clarified, so I am flagging them rather than guessing. 1. NC's own description of the Battle Pass says it can contain cosmetics, items, upgrade materials, and in-game currencies. Upgrade materials are not cosmetics. Whether that premium track touches gear power is an open question. 2. Direct face-to-face player trading is just absent from NC's global breakdown entirely. It might not exist here at all. NC also says outright that some of this may still change before launch, so none of it is final. My honest read? The worst of Korea's model is gone. The pay-to-win pressure is dramatically lower, but calling it free-to-play is doing some heavy lifting when the entire player economy sits behind a subscription. It is free to play. It is not free to participate.
Alright, say you are playing on day 1. Here is how not to shoot yourself in the foot. Tip 1. Pick your region for latency before you pick your class. Servers are not region locked, so you have a real choice here. And if your ping is going to be rough, do not lock into Assassin or Sorcerer. Those punish every mistake. Templar and Cleric are far more forgiving and always in demand. Playing mostly solo? Gladiator and Spiritmaster are the safer picks. Tip 2. Do not buy a Founders Pack for the power. There is no power in them. Buy it for early access, the exclusive cosmetics, and the 30 days of membership, or do not buy it at all. And check whether the pack items bind before you open them, because re-rolling later can strand your rewards on the wrong character. Tip 3. Decide early whether you are subscribing. This is the real decision in this game. If you are going free to play, you have no auction house and no trading, so start gathering and crafting immediately and plan to be self-sufficient. That is a completely different way to play, and finding out at level 30 is painful. Tip 4. Protect your Abyss points and learn how the extraction refund works before you buy temporary PvP gear. And tip 5. Settings. Motion blur off if aerial combat looks unclear. Damage direction indicators on for the big fights. Controller players, test your field of view and dead zones before you touch competitive PvP, because the live build has taken real complaints about limited stick customization, and NC has not announced any controller improvements for global. One more thing, and this one is a genuine warning. Korea has run 65 rounds of account sanctions and actioned more than 727,000 accounts. The anti-bot enforcement is aggressive enough that legitimate players got caught, some of them just for having peripheral software like Logitech or Razer running in the background. If Global inherits that system, be careful what you have open. So, worth it or not? If you are an MMO veteran who wants organized dungeons, defined roles, and guild warfare, AION 2 is absolutely worth your time, and the global model is a real improvement over what Korea shipped. If you are strictly free to play, go in with your eyes open. You are playing a solo economy game unless you pay $15 a month. My verdict right now? Play it at launch. It is free. Buy a Founders Pack only if you want the exclusive cosmetics and the early access, not because you think it makes you stronger. And watch Gamescom on August 25th, because AION 2 is at opening night live, and that is our next real shot at the answers NC still has not given. So tell me, which class are you starting with, and is a $15 sub for auction house access a deal breaker for you or fair? Drop it in the comments, I read them. Before we go, it is time to reveal the two winners of the previous $300 monthly giveaway. Congratulations to Rochelle and Unbreakable. Please DM me on the CrusherXGaming Discord to claim your prize. And as always, there is another $100 giveaway running. One channel member and one commenter will each receive $50. Like this video and leave a relevant AION 2 comment to enter. Finally, thank you to the guys for supporting CrusherXGaming. You keep these videos coming, and I appreciate every single one of you. That's all for now. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!